Joining us on the stage, we've got from Creative Assembly, we've got Al Bickham. We've also got Chris Bratt from Eurogamer. We've also got Lionheart X10 as well is going to be joining us as well.
Can you welcome to the stage, please?
Yes.
Come on, guys.
Look at all the smoke.
There they come.
Welcome.
Have a seat, guys.
Chris, this is your chair. You get to sit in this one.
I'm going to move to the arm.
What it does is it cradles your buttocks in a very nice way. Yes, good.
Yeah, that's good.
So, of course, Chris is from Eurogamer.
Yep, hello.
And we have Lionheart X10.
Hello.
You all know who he is already. And then, of course, we have Al from Creative Assembly.
Hi.
So, guys, you're going to show off Total War Warhammer.
Yep.
We're gonna. He said we're going to leave in just a second.
Yeah.
But just answer me this: did you have that meeting? Was it how do we hammer in more war? Was that your conversation?
We usually ask that question. Finally, we've got to a place where we can smack, magic into the whole thing and make it super explosive.
I'm also going to steal Chris's first question, which is, why so long? Why so long?
Well, these things take time. I'm going to say.
Well, it certainly looks like you've taken a lot of time over it. It looks awesome. So, Cam, should we leave them to it?
Yeah, let's shut up our mouths and let these guys take over. So, Chris, over to you and
All right, cool.
Total War Warhammer.
Who is playing?
Who is playing?
Are we heading up here? Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Come on up.
Well, I think
PC here.
I think you want this
to
PC.
be honest, Lionheart, you're better than
Lionheart, you're a bit of a
any of us
pro,
three.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
All right, cool.
Right.
Al, is Al not joining us for this?
Do I come join
on.
you?
Get over here. All right, so there are two options here. We can play it on easy or hard.
Yep.
How much time have we got? We've got like 20 minutes. Can we?
We've got time, I think, to see if Todd can conquer it on hard.
I think it's hard. It's got to be hard.
Here we go.
All right. I thought I was going to sit on this seat. I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna leave it there. I love that we got to enter a room with like smoke coming up and everything. I never get to do that.
Once in a lifetime
awesome.
opportunity, right?
All right. So we've all played this demo. Al, I imagine you played it more than the two of us.
I have, and I'm still not great at it, as YouTube has told me a couple of times already. So.
Yeah. Thanks. I really enjoyed the demo that we played like a couple of weeks ago now. So it's the Dwarfs versus the Greenskins.
Yeah, that's right.
If people don't know, it's taking place in the Underway. What is the Underway?
So in the campaign game, so Total War fans will have played, the turn-based campaign game before. We've now got a way for certain races, including Dwarves, for example, to enter the Dwarf and Underway, which is a kind of vast, crumbling ancient network that the Dwarfs built. And then it's a way for them to kind of bypass obstacles on the campaign map and zip across the map. But there's
Those
a chance of
dastardly
them
goblins.
being, yes, exactly, yes, always the goblins, cheeky little fellows. So they are, ambushing the guys here. This is actually one of the early kind of narrative quest battles for Thorgrim Grudgebearer, who's the High King of the Dwarfs. There he is on the throne of power there.
What I love about Thorgrim Grudgebearer is that his whole thing is he's just really, really angry all the time. Like, he has a big book that he writes everything that he's angry about, and then he goes out there and tries to solve them.
His whole, even if he went shopping, I think the whole experience would be predicated on vengeance in some way, basically. So.
Okay, so Lionheart, Total War expert. I'm just gonna call you that in full from now on. What are we thinking in terms of setting up for it?
Well, we've got quite a defensive line here. We've got loads of artillery, we've got organ guns,
right.
We've got a flame cannon. So it's very much like a defensive sort of standpoint for the dwarves here. And you've got all these troops coming in from various directions, coming in from the flanks and from the rear at various points.
Yep.
There's loads of like horrendous monsters coming out. We've got an Arachnarok, huge spider. I think a giant shows up there on some trolls. So I'm going to try and just hold the line and see what happens, basically.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed about this demo when I played it originally was that it does let you just kind of stand and hold the ground. It's an ambush. The goblins are just charging at you. I love that it's at the end of a massive tunnel, so you see them coming all the way along. And then whilst that's happening, these little bits on the side, I'm not sure if you can see it on the mini-map, but there are these little pockets where smaller ambushes come from, as if one ambush wasn't enough.
Yeah,
and then your lines just go terrible. Like you were perfectly prepared for the first main force, and then suddenly everything goes wrong.
Yeah, it's all about really holding the line while you keep the guns firing, and that's what the dwarves do. Their melee units are very tough. They have really high morale, so you want them to come at you and just kind of hit your front line, and you want those guns and crossbowmen and riflemen to just keep on firing.
Sure. So are you going to have infantry in like one line in
Yeah,
the
I'm
front.
just gonna try and hold them back.
Okay.
Smash them with the organ guns and
Can
cannons.
we zoom in on those guys for a second at the back? I love these
Slayers.
shots.
Look at them.
Yeah,
That haircut.
Yeah, they're the kind of when the bad monsters turn up, when the big things turn up. In fact, they've got a trait which is called anti-large, which I'm a huge fan of that. It's like Warhammer lingo at its best.
Okay, nearly
All right,
ready
yeah,
now.
Slayers are fun. They're kind of their whole ethos is sort of, I am going to go and find the biggest, nastiest monster I can fight, and hopefully I'll die. If it doesn't die, I'll die a heroic
That's the
death
thing,
in
right?
battle.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Okay,
crack
ready?
on, boys. Yeah.
Yep, let's
Yeah.
do it. All right, so what are you thinking in terms of the heroes here? Because this is kind of new for Warhammer. So all the Total War games have had generals in the past, but this is one of the first times I felt really comfortable actually getting them stuck in, and they're individual units as well.
Yeah.
They're meant to be like right in the middle of
It's the,
the
totally,
fights.
I mean,
the different hit point system as well that you've got
Yeah,
here, so
that's
they're
right.
a lot tougher.
Yeah, it's sort of represented almost like a unit. The unit's numbers in the bottom. It almost like it's got a health bar that you can very clearly see when things are
Yeah.
going bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we want to do justice to the tabletop game, so heroes get stuck in. That's what they do. They're heroes, they're kings, they're lords
Sure.
because they're fighters. You know, they've risen to the
All
top
right,
of the ranks,
so
kind of thing.
the first kind of mini ambush is taking place
Yep.
here, which is like,
There is.
it mainly like goblin spearmen and a few archers at the
Yeah,
back?
Goblin Spear Archers.
Oh,
They're
what
pretty
professional.
pretty small fry, but they, you know, you get enough waves of them coming in.
Yeah,
So you're
and
going
then
first
you've got
person on the
two
organ
spider
gun there.
riders. So this is you can do this with a few units, right? As well as the organ gun, there's also like the gyrocopters you can mess around with, the doom divers if you're greenskins.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, lots
Is the reason for that just because you think it's going to be a bit more fun? Like,
Yeah, I mean, these are all units that appear in the Warhammer rulebooks, right? So.
oh no, sorry, I meant the actually going into first person. Like,
Oh, I
is that
see.
just because you think it looks cool?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for some, it's kind of fun to use a cannon or something like that in first-person mode. But half the time, if you just want to soak up the scenery, then you can choose a unit like the gyrocopters. We should look at those later, actually, when
Yeah.
they get the reinforcements coming.
Oh yeah, we should
Yeah.
point out that if we held it long enough, yeah, we get a couple of units of gyrocopters, which are like dwarven helicopters with some bombs.
Basically, yeah, bombs strapped to the
Yeah.
wings. They don't get dwarves don't really get cavalry, so they don't get like, you know, a useful kind of fast-moving flanking unit like a lot of the other races do. So they get gyrocopters, which means they can, as long as they're not, you know, too peppered with arrows, they will fall to that. But they're really good at zipping around the battlefield and
They
just
look pretty good as
pumping
well.
fire at various things. So
Lionheart has done a great job proving what I was talking about before. It's like you had your lines so perfectly set up. It was also neat and lovely, and then like you're all over the place now. Although doing a pretty good job,
Yeah,
a much better job than when I played it.
Holding them back for now. Just waiting for the kind of the next round, the next wave to come through. We've got them forming up over on the left here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You took some damage with the Thunderers, is that right?
yeah, they got caught out by those the spider riders. They just charged on in. They're really good at picking off and like going for trying to get your cannons early on in this.
Is there a new system in play there in Warhammer in particular? Like it does seem that the AI. I remember in the video that you uploaded, actually, you got hit on the flanks.
Oh, I
very
totally
hard.
got flanked. Yeah.
Is this new to Warhammer, or was it just a good example of something that's already been
No,
happening?
not really. I
in
mean,
games?
we work on the AI with every game we do. It's the open field battle stuff. We're really happy with it at the moment, as you saw from the. You know, you'll see flanks. It will spot opportunities. If Lion had, you know, maybe a couple of blocks of troops lined up on the front with a gap between, every chance that some of those spiders would have tried and threaded their way through the gap to get to the guns. Because the AI knows those guns are the strength in this army, and it's going to be trying to take them out. You know.
One thing I kind of like about the Dwarfs in particular as well is that their range units aren't that squishy. Like some of them can actually fight in melee relatively well,
Yep.
which is pretty new.
So just there, like some of the quarrelers, which are the crossbow units, they got hit by spiders there. They should be able to, you know, hold their own and defend against those guys.
Oh, you've timed that
So pull
perfectly
out
with the
the saber.
animation there.
Yeah.
That was very
Perfect.
good. Al, I won't lie, I think Lion here is doing a slightly better job at demoing this than either of us ever would have managed.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
To our eternal shame.
Yeah. Okay, so how far away is the main force away now? They're about halfway down the
About
tunnel.
halfway down, yeah.
This is the thing, and then suddenly a giant.
Giants.
Like, you're trying to concentrate on the main force,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
that turns up.
Now this is Slayers are custom built to kill these guys. As you pointed out,
Yep.
they've got anti-large as
They'll
a
still take some pretty, like, immediately getting knocked back in big numbers there. They're going to take some damage anyway.
Yeah, they will. They will take some damage.
So some of them are going to fulfill their kind of wish to die at the hands of something large.
Yeah, I think Lions do the honourable thing here. It's giving them the opportunity
Yeah,
to
prove
fulfil their
themselves,
destiny.
sure.
Yeah. But armour piercing is probably, you know, I think it's really important in Total War Warhammer as well because of the variance of values in unit stats and things like that. Things like armour piercing become so important. Because when you've got like an Arachnarok, the giant spider thing marching towards in the distance, it's covered in thick armour plates. So getting your armour piercing units on that is going to be really, really important. Making those matchups. Slayers, ladies and gentlemen, Slayers.
His belly wobbles when he falls over.
Yeah.
We need to highlight that. And the trolls are gone as well, so yeah, good job. I think you're pretty much set for the main force now, right?
I think so. Although Thorgrim's in trouble.
Oh, you got a potion of healing, right?
You got a health potion.
Oh no, it's already used.
I've used my health potion.
Oh no!
Thorgrim might go down.
Oh no! Thorgrim, get out of there!
So last time you played, I don't think he had it, but he's now got a magic fireball ring. He's got the fire ring authority, which is a dwarf and rune ring.
This is new. Oh god,
You can use that at range, or
this is freaking me out, Lion.
Run!
Oh god.
He's fine.
Ah!
I've got him. He's fine.
Pull
the chair back. Pull the chair back.
You cannot lose the Great Book of Grudges. No. You cannot.
Can you not pick that up at Smith's?
I like the idea that some trolls would be
Only
going
copies.
around with it from that point onwards, writing their own little messages in there.
Yeah. Scrawling like this.
Okay, he survived. Good job, man. Good job. So the thing about Thorgrim, right, is that if he dies in this battle, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Like your entire army's going to freak out about that.
Yep.
But it's not a proper death. Like because he is the core character, he's the leader of the dwarfs.
Yeah.
You're okay for the rest of the campaign, right?
Yeah. So the legendary lords, the guys that are the head of your campaign. Yeah. If they fall in battle, they basically take horrific wounds and then go and convalesce for a while, and then they come back into your campaign.
So like a timeout?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the timeout is, but you know, after a period, he'll come back in and you'll be able to pick up from where he left off.
How's it going with the giant spider there?
Not too good at the moment.
Okay.
I'm sure I've got some troops that were pushing up for that first force back, so
they
it's
can
the
come
main
back
force
now.
now that's pressed in, but in come the Slayers, so...
Okay, yeah, that's good. Nice.
My Thane somewhere.
There's a much greater sense of impact in Total War Warhammer, I think, and you absolutely freaking need it when there are enemies like that. You need them to hit things and people need to fall over as a result.
Absolutely, and get thrown around. And so many of these big monsters have big AoE attacks.
Yep.
So, and the heroes as well. Like you see, Grimgor Ironhide, you know the big orc here, legendary lord. He goes in, has one swipe of his axe, and he'll just knock guys flying.
Okay, so the reinforcements, have they turned up yet?
Yeah, got the gyrocopters.
Oh yeah, there they
Yay.
are. So they come with a couple of sets of bombs each, which is quite nice. You get to hover them over infantry usually and drop them, and try and get a big group. Seems to be the tactic there.
You drop a couple of clusters of those, and you can totally freak out some enemy infantry and kill a few as well.
Sure. So yeah, there's that looks like a decent group.
There we are, nicely lined up.
Very nice. Oh, you perfectionist, you.
Bombs away.
Nicely done. So how good are the gyrocopters?
So you can see they're
outside
wavering already. Like that, there's a real morale hit on them. So.
Okay, yeah. So like as well as doing damage, you're
freaking them out.
Having bombs dropped on you by dwarfs in helicopters is a pretty scary thing.
Slightly unsettling.
Nice. Is there any advantage to going in first person? Like, are you
to some
more
extent,
accurate?
yeah, to some extent. I mean, there's a according to their shooting abilities, they will hit or miss, and according to if the target's moving and various other variables as well. So you can calculate if something's moving along, you can fire there. So there is an element of skill to it, and you can get, you personally get better at it as well.
Sure.
But as much as that, it's a fun way of viewing the battle, like seeing it in that view.
Oh, this looks great.
Orc big uns.
Oh man. Was that a melee attack with the gyrocopter? I didn't even realise that was a thing.
Just gone in and mowed them down.
That's really cool. When I was playing it, I just kept them. I was very precious about them because they looked nice. So I just kept them back with ranged attacks all the time. That looked impressive.
If I'm watching them swoop on in and got
also,
the
you know you've won now, so it's time to show off with that stuff. That's understandable.
Got them down.
Yeah.
Thorgrim's just alive.
Yeah, that was the one moment in this demo where I thought you might surf him.
I was worried.
That was good.
I couldn't get my ring to fire. I was pressing right click instead of left click. I was like,
right. Well, good job, man. That was excellent.
Job done.
Big round of applause for Lionheart, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely made the right call there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how long we've got left yet, but we may as well talk a little bit about where does this battle fit into the game itself. So if you played as dwarfs,
yes, if you're playing as the dwarfs, and you're using Thorgrim as your legendary lord for that campaign, you'll at the start of each campaign you get this thing called the prelude, which is like it's almost a tutorial, but it leads you narratively through several battles and stages in the early part of the campaign game before kind of pushing you out into the sandbox of the campaign to kind of carry on for yourself. So
nice.
And this is quite a very early. Oh, let me in, boys. Let us in. So yeah, this is quite an early battle for Thorgrim. And actually, what we've done here, we've thrown a lot more units than you would normally have at this point in the game because.
You want to show off.
Exactly. There's all this cool stuff the dwarves have, and if we just showed you the basic unit roster, I don't think it'd be that be as interesting as it is here. So.
Sure.
But yeah, there's Thorgrim.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't
enumerating the grudges.
He doesn't look that happy, does he? Considering he's quite
frowny. Quite frowny.
Maybe it's because.
One grudge gone, isn't it? So
but yeah, he's still got plenty left, and maybe because you almost got him killed by a bunch of trolls.
Yeah, he might be a little bit miffed.
Yeah.
But you cannot take issue with that beard, can you?
Yeah.
Look at the plaits.
I'm not sure if people heard it, but when the battle starts, I think he says, "Is it my beard itches with trouble?"
Beard itches the trouble.
Yeah. He's a proper dwarf, isn't he?
He is.
He doesn't mess around. And I think, did you get the killing blow with the cannon?
Organ guns, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. You demoed very well.
Thank you very much.
That was good. Yeah, I thought I played this pretty well. I was really smug when we did the preview of this for Eurogamer, and I went in straight on hard, thinking I knew how to play Total War. Yeah, and then now I'm feeling like that maybe wasn't quite as good as I thought it was.
Actually, there's a really cool bit of scenery. If you head straight up the battlefield, Lion, over here, there's this fallen dwarf statue with all these kind of goblin scaffolding around it, like they've been chipping bits off it and giggling and running away with some
There's
bronze,
another bit directly behind this as well, I think, where you can see the goblins have started to claim these bits as their own, which is. From a lore perspective, it creates a nice little touch because you feel like you're trying to win back your own homeland.
Exactly, from the...
They've made a right mess of, quite frankly.
Like all the extra bits off from the scenery-wise on the ground, because it's the first time we've seen Total War in a subterranean environment, and there's just so much to it. We've got these waterfalls and other bridges.
Yeah, we're working really hard on the environments,
When did development start for Total War Warhammer? It's been in quite a while, right?
I think it was 2012, actually.
2012, right.
Because that's when I think it was 2012 when we basically signed a deal with Games Workshop to make the game, and then since then, it's just been, the team's been getting bigger and bigger, and we're ramping into full production. We're just coming up on Alpha now, so.
How did you find that going for a costly victory, by the way?
Yeah, costly. See what my losses were. Okay, half. That's all right. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much wiped out.
Take that.
We've done a terrible job of demoing this. Actually, I take it all back. We haven't pointed out the most important thing about the Total War Warhammer demo.
Magic.
The magic, and also the goblin leader is called Knobnail's Backbiter, which is just brilliant. I need to ask, who made that name? Because does that come from Warhammer lore itself, or is that?
I don't know with that guy. I don't know. He might be one of the lords we've generated.
It feels generated. It feels like funny goblin words.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can come up with,
together.
and just keep pressing random until you get Knobnail's Backbiter, which is excellent. So.
So we didn't really see much of him in action in the battle, but he's a spellcaster. He was riding around on a wolf, so he kind of runs up and he's got a couple of spells. One called Night Shroud, which is a debuff to ranged units.
He's also got the big fireball thingy that kind of
Curse of
goes all
Dabad
place.
Moon, which is can be horrific. Can just sail off into the distance. And
yeah,
not
that's
do
the
any
great thing,
damage
right?
if
You cast it somewhere and then it just goes where it wants.
It goes walkies. Yeah, according to the whims of the the winds of magic. Yeah,
that sounds fun or just devastating.
Yeah,
depending on
and it
which
can
side
be
you're on.
if it tears through your gun line. That it is horrible. Like your guys are getting thrown around left, right, and centre, and routing, and it can be bad.
I don't think we haven't really talked about the magic that much, really, just because obviously the dwarfs aren't using it here, and I think Knobnail's just died somewhere in the background.
Yeah.
That's got hit by a stray organ gun.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Could well have done. Yeah.
So the first trailer or the first gameplay, that you showed for Total Warhammer, the magic looks so powerful, so consequential. Was that a fair reflection of what it's like in the game itself? Because I think some people are worried that maybe it will be too powerful.
Yeah,
too consequential.
yeah, that's that. I can see why that would be a worry. Like it's balanced effectively because your spellcasters have access to the winds of magic. That is their kind of resource pool.
Sure.
So you go into a battle and the winds of magic might be blowing quite weakly during that battle, so it'll ebb like
Is that like a dice
slowly
roll?
upwards. Yeah, there's a random element to it, but there's also where you are in the world makes a difference as well. So certain parts of the world, like up north in the Chaos Wastes, where the winds of magic rage a lot harder. Yeah, so there's more chance of going in with a heightened level of magic. But then individual spellcaster skills, they'll have abilities in their skill trees that'll buff their abilities. When it comes to the management of winds of magic, so they might get a faster recharge of winds of magic or more starting magic. So there's variables to that.
So not every fight's going to be the same as the Battle of Blackfire Pass.
No, that was kind of all singing, all dancing, like lots of stuff going on.
You're showing off again. There's a lot of this.
Yeah, exactly. But there's what it does represent is when things go right in magic, I suppose. So a well-placed spell can alter the course of a battle, but you've got to bear in mind as well that, like we were talking about with Curse of the Bad Moon, it can wander off and it might just not hit anything. You might just not get it on target, and it might be, and then you've burnt actually quite a lot of your winds of magic. And there'll be a refresh time to that spell, and bigger spells have a big refresh time, and there'll also be a big it'll use up a lot of magic to cast that spell.
That's reassuring to hear, I think.
There are balancing factors all throughout it. Yeah. I mean, you might get lucky.
Let's look some of the units again in more detail, because I don't know which ones we really had a proper look at. We were impressed by the Slayers, by Thorgrim himself, and oh no, they're back. We can't play anymore.
Were it so easy to just end war by showing up?
I know.
Oh, no,
I know.
Do you want to hit escape when the tutorial comes up? Sorry.
Oh yeah. It looks awesome. I mean, how much have you wanted to have total fantasy in this?
Say again.
Total fantasy. Is this been just like the constant dream of Creative Assembly?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we've always toyed with the idea of doing a fantasy game. Yeah. We've always obviously been, we've kind of nailed our colours to the flag of history for so many years. But really, it's...
You're still doing that, right?
Yeah, we're totally still doing that, by the way. Yeah.
Good.
But it just, having the Warhammer universe to play with is amazing, because it unshackles so much of what we want to do with environments and crazy weapons and magic, and it's all this good stuff, and everyone's having a real blast making it as well. It's really good. It's a pure joy.
Well, Chris, I know it's probably too early to give a definite review of the game, but 10 out of 10, 9, 10?
I mean, demo.
I know you don't give 10s.
So Eurogamer's policy is to, review scores.
Oh,
absolutely
not.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think this demo is some of the most fun I've had with Total War.
Most fun ever.
And I hope
most fun
the rest of the game is as
says Chris Pratt of Eurogamer.
Those are some of the words I said.
All right, well, it's on record. And Lionheart, what are you making of it so far?
It's definitely a fantastic different direction for Total War to go after so many historical battles.
Yeah.
It's just great to come up against huge monsters, and Dwarfs are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's ever been in question.
No.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
Yeah. Your review was better.
Thank you.
much better, much more thorough.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you,
cool.
crowd. Thanks to Creative Assembly, to Al, to Lionheart as well, and of course to Chris, who gave it 10 out of 10.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Not true. All right, guys.
Cool.
So Cam, what else have we got here? I think that was one game.
I don't know how we follow most fun ever.
Most fun ever.